Here's a house I want you to picture. Good streets, good schools, and the ugliest kitchen you've ever seen. Fixed up, houses like it sell for $300,000. But because of the torn up floors and the roof with a tarp on it, you can grab this house for $170,000. Put $40,000 of renovation into it, sell it at full price, and after every single cost, you walk away with about $52,500 of profit in roughly 6 months. Now, here's the number that stops almost everybody. Doing that deal with cash takes about $216,000. And your bank won't touch this house. I'll show you exactly why in a minute. So today, I'm showing you the loan that was built for this exactly. It's called a fix and flip loan. It funds the purchase and the renovation. It can close in days instead of months. And it doesn't qualify your paycheck. It qualifies the deal. I'm a licensed mortgage broker, and I'm going to walk you through a real flip, start to finish. The 70% rule that tells you what to offer, the loan piece by piece, every cost, including the ones that sink first timers. The final profit and plan B that saves you if the market turns. While we're holding a paintbrush, by the end, you'll know how flippers control a $300,000 project with about $45,000. Let's get into it. Quick note before the numbers. I'm a licensed mortgage broker, but this is education, not financial advice for your exact situation. I'm using clean, round numbers today so you can see how the machine works in real world rates, points, and how much a lender covers, and will move based upon the deal, your experience, in your state. This machine itself works the same way everywhere. Oh, and one quick favor before we start. Tap that like button for me. It costs you nothing. It takes only a second, and it genuinely helps this channel. Okay, let's start with the numbers that runs this entire game. The number is the ARV, the after repair value, not what the house is worth today, all beat up, what it will sell for after the work is done. And you don't guess if you don't hope it. And you definitely don't take the seller's word for it. You pull comps, houses that actually sold in the last 3 to 6 months in the same neighborhood, about the same size and bedroom count, already renovated. What buyers actually paid for the finished version of your house. That's the ARV. On our deal, the comp says $300,000. Burn this into your brain. The ARV sets your offer. It sets your loan. And it caps your profit. Every number downstream flows from this one. We're coming back to it. So you found the wreck, you found your homework, and you do the normal math. You call the bank. And this is where the dream usually dies, because the bank tells you no 3 ways different. Number 1, the house. A regular mortgage needs the house pass an appraisal and livable condition. Broken HVAC, kitchen, roof. The appraiser flags it and the loan is dead on arrival. Banks lend on finished houses. And a flip is, by the definition, not finished. Number 2, speed. A bank takes 30 to 45 days to close. The seller, beat up house wants fast and certain, and you're competing against cash buyers who can close next week. By the time your loan committee says maybe, the house is gone. And number 3 is you. The bank qualifies your paycheck, tax returns, pay stubs, debt to income. And even if you pass every test, here's the kicker. The bank funds $0 of the renovation. All $40,000 of rehab money, your problem. So the bank lends a finished house and a steady paycheck. And a flip is neither one. That's the wall every new flipper hits. Now, here's the comeback. There is a whole lending world built for this exactly house. You'll hear it called hard money, private money, bridge loans. The modern name is a fix and flip loan, and it flips the underwriting upside down. Instead of lending on you, it lends on the deal, on that ARV, the after repaired value. And look what that changes. These loans close in days, not months. Some lenders don't even order a full appraisal. They underwrite straight off the comps. One loan covers the purchase and the renovation money. The payments are interest only, so the monthly cost stays low while the money is working. And qualifying isn't a stack of tax returns. It's the address, the purchase price, the rehab budget, the ARV, and your experience. Now the honest part, because you know I always give you the honest part. This money is not cheap. Expect roughly 10% to 12% interest and 1.5 to 3 points up front. A point is 1% of the loan paid at closing. Yes, that's about double a normal mortgage rate. And no, it does not matter the way you think it does, because you're not marrying this money for 30 years. You're renting it month by month for about 6 months to unlock a $52,000 profit. Expensive money that says yes beats cheap money that says no. So what should you exactly offer for the wreck? This is where flippers use a 70% rule, and I want you to write this one down. Your maximum offer is 70% of the ARV minus the rehab. Watch it work. 70% of $300,000 is $210. Minus the $40,000 renovation, max offer $170,000. And that 30% gap, you just protected. And that is not all profit. That band has a hold on your loan cost and your holding cost. The sales commission and then your profit is your armor, which is why the oldest rule in flipping goes like this. You make your money on the buy, not the flip. The day you buy at the right price, the profit is already inside the deal. The renovation just unwraps it. Overpay on day one, and no countertop on earth will save you. And if the seller won't come down to where your 70% math works, you walk. There are more beat up houses in this country than you'll ever have time to flip. Passing on a bad deal is a profit skill. Real quick, because that 70% rule is the single most useful thing in this video. And most people pay for a seminar before anyone writes it out for them. If a light bulb just came on, tap the like button for me. And if you want the money inside of the real estate explained straight like this, hit the subscribe while you're at it. Here's the honest reason I asked. This channel is still small, and every like and every subscribe tells YouTube to show this to the next person staring at an ugly house, wondering why anybody affords to fix one. It's free, it takes 1 second, and it genuinely helps keep these coming. All right, let's build the actual loan, piece by piece on our deal. The purchase. The price is $170,000. A typical fix and flip lender covers around 85% of that, which is $144,500. You bring in the 15% as your down payment, $25,500. The renovation, the full $40,000, 100% of it goes into the loan. So the total loan is $184,500. And smart lenders run one more check. That's that the loan is about 62% of the ARV, comfortably under the 70 to 75% ceiling most of them hold. The deal fits. The lender is protected, and honestly, so are you. But here's the part about the rehab money that surprises every single first-time flipper. You do not get $40,000 at closing. It sits in a holdback and it comes out in draws. You finish the roof, and an inspector confirms the roof is done, and the lender releases the roof money. Demo, inspection, money. Kitchen, inspection, money. Stage by stage until the $40,000 is out. It keeps every project honest, but it means you front each stage on your contractor float, and you get paid back as you go. That's exactly why lenders check your cash reserves. And even though you're funding this rehab, you need working money between draws. Plan for it. And draws are a rhythm. They don't plan for it, and week 3 gets very stressful. Now the cost of all of them. Because here's how first flippers actually go broke. They count the purchase and the rehab, and they call everything else a rounding error. We're going to count like a pessimist, because that's exactly how the pros underwrite. Beat the deal up on paper and see if it still floats. 2 points on your loan is about $3,700. Interest about $1,615 a month, $1,615 a month. 6 months of that, call it $9,700. Closing costs to buy the house is about $2,500. Holding costs while you own it, the taxes and the insurance and utilities, is about $600 a month. $3,600 for the project. And the one everybody forgets, selling cost. The agent's commission and the closing on the way out, about $18,000. Stack it all up, purchase, rehab, and every cost we just named, and this whole project cost $247,500. So let's do the scoreboard. The house sells at the ARV, which was $300,000. Everything hit cost at $247,500. Profit $52,500 in about 6 months. Now the part that made this strategy famous. How much of your own cash was ever in this deal? Add it up, the down payment, the points, the closing cost, the interest, the holding, about $45,000. Now, $216,000. The loan carried everything else. $52,500 of profit on $45,000 of cash means you more than doubled your money in 6 months. On a house your bank refused to even look at. And that $45,000 isn't gone. It comes back at closing with the profit stacked on top, ready for the next deal. But before you run off hunting for wrecks, you need the 4 profit killers, because that 52,000 has to survive all 4. Killer number 1, the ARV fantasy. You fall in love with the deal, so you stretch the comps to make it work. Say our house is really worth 270, not 300,000. That's a 10% miss. Your profit doesn't drop 10%. It drops to about 24,000. More than half of your profit is gone from one optimistic guess. So pull 3 to 5 real comps, adjust down for busy road and weird layout, and when in doubt, be a pessimist. Killer 2, renovating yourself. You are not building your dream home. You're building what the neighborhood already buys. Match the comps, finish level. Mid-range kitchen, clean, modern bathrooms. Curb appeal. Fresh, neutral paint, one consistent floor, good light. The short list sells houses. You know what doesn't come back? The pool, the imported tile, the smart home package, anything fancier than the block, because the comps that set your ARV also cap it. Outbuild the neighborhood and you just donated the difference to the next homeowner. One exception, and it is not optional. Whatever an inspector will flag, the roof, the electric, the plumbing, the HV, you fix it. Because that stuff kills your sale at the closing table. Killer number 3, no cushion. Every wall you open has a surprise behind it. Put 10 to 20% on top of your rehab number before you buy. On this deal, that's 4 to 8 grand. You never need it. Congratulations, it's extra profit. Killer 4, the calendar. On this deal, every extra month costs about $2,200 in interest and holding before you even think about price cuts. A flip is a race against your own carrying cost. Speed isn't a style choice. Speed is the profit. And there's one more thing the pros do that beginners skip. They pick 2 exits before they buy. Exit 1 is the sell we just walked through. But what if the market cools off while you're mid-renovation? The amateur panics and fire sells the house. Here's plan B, and this is where my world and the flip world shakes hands. You refinance into a DSCR rental loan. That's a 30-year loan that qualifies on the rent the house can bring in, not your paycheck. You put a tenant into your freshly renovated house. The rent covers the new payment and the flip becomes a rental. The fix and flip just became a fix and hold. You pay off the expensive short-term money. You keep every dollar of equity you created, and the house pays for itself while the market comes back. That move, buy it, fix it, rent it, refinance it, it's a whole strategy of its own. I made a full video on it. It will be on the end of the screen. And it's the reason I wrote my book, DSCR Loans Made Simple. It's on Amazon. Link down below. If the hold side is calling your name, but today's point is simpler. A deal where both exits work, it sells at a profit and it rents for enough to carry a refinance. It's a deal that is very, very hard to lose. So how do you actually get one of these loans? Here's what a fix and flip lender wants to see when you walk in. They want to see the property address or the contract if it's under contract, the purchase price, a real rehab budget with scope of work, not a number you felt good about, your ARV backed by comps, proof of cash, the down payment plus those reserves between draws, and your experience. And if this would ever be your first flip ever, hear me clearly. You can still get funded. Expect a bit more down and a slightly higher rate until you have a finished flip or two on your scorecard. The terms get better with every deal you complete. And honestly, lining up this money and the DSCR exit behind it is what I do all day. If you're staring at a deal right now and you want a second set of eyes on the numbers, here's a link down below to book a free call with me. So where's the whole playbook on one page? Find the rec, pull real comps, and set a pessimist ARV. Offer 70% of the ARV minus the rehab and walk if the math doesn't work. Fund it with a fix and flip loan, 15% down on the purchase, the rehab and draws, interest only while you work. Count all the cost, the money, the closing, the holding, the selling, and the cushion. Renovate to comps quickly and pick 2 exits before you buy. Sell it or rent it and refinance it. That's how a $216,000 project becomes a $45,000 project and a $52,500 payday. And remember, this is education, not personalized advice. Every deal, every market, and every lender is different. So before you sign anything, talk to a licensed pro. That's generally what I do all day. Now, before you go, I'll ask you straight. If this video pulled back the curtain on how flips actually get funded, hit that like button for me and subscribe to the channel. I don't say that as a throwaway line. This channel is still small, and every single like and every subscribe tells YouTube to show this to the next person. Driving past an ugly house, wondering why anyone ever affords to fix one. That person might be someone you know. So if I've earned it today, tap like, hit subscribe, and drop me a comment. I would love to know your deal, the purchase price, the rehab number, and what you think it's worth fixed up. And I'll tell you straight whether 70% math works. I read every single comment. I'll see you in the next one.